Figma. Now, let's take for instance you entered into to access Figma. You can access Figma through two ways. All right. The first way is to download it. You can just Google, search, you know, figma.com, uh, figma.com, and once you search figma.com, it takes you to the home page. Now you can either download it or browse it. All right, you can it has two means of accessing it. So it's either you download or you browse it. Okay, so now this is the home page. I just typed figma.com and I got into the home page. All right, so now this is the home page. Now what are the features? What do you find on the home page? First of all, by your left, you see some features. All right, you see some features. First of all, you see recent. This recent shows you the recent files you work on. So these are the recent files I've worked on. All these files are the recent file, both low fidelity and high fidelity. All these files I've worked on. I think this is my latest work. All right. So all these files are the recent one. Then from there, the next one, community. Community simply means, where you get resources, materials, and where you get to collaborate. All right. So this is where you get to interact with other extended, people. Okay. So that's for community. This for community right here. Then drafts, designs that you save to draft. Most of them they will appear here. All right. Design that I just created that you didn't do much work. They all fall into here. Then your project. This is not see all your projects. This is all your projects. All right. Now you can divide your project. You can categorize your project. Okay. You can add. You can segment your project. That's what this is for. So you can have different projects inside. Like one folder. Then your resources. After your resources, your trash, where you get to you see your trash. So these resources too is where you also get materials like icons, and the rest of them. Okay. So now coming back to recent. Now I still have up here design to if once you click on this, you are going to start a new design. All right. Let's say you want to start designing from the scratch. You click on that, you start your new design. All right. So starting your new design, you have your I explained this in the other video. You have your layout. This is where you have your layout, and this is where you have your properties. Then this is your design canva. Your layout, your properties, your design canva. Layout is just to highlight, different items. Then properties is to see the features of these items you've highlighted. All right. Now let's go back to our UI before we continue. I think okay, yeah, this way here. So this for that. Now let's say we've done design and we want to go back to our home. We just select here back to files. Now this takes us back to the files where we were before. You understand? So I'll still explain some things. So now this is also FigJam. This is where you get to do some rough hand sketch, and to create some other things with people. FigJam is more of like rough hand sketch. You understand? So you get to do a lot of rough sketch here. You get to plan with your team. Of course, you can see different things. Make templates and diagrams. There are different things you can do under this FigJam. For example, you can draw rough hand sketch. You can plan your designs with your team before actual going into the main design. All right. So that is for FigJam. Let's go back. Let's go back to files. Now, which other thing do we have here? We have slides. We want to create slides on Figma. That is 100% possible. We want to create files on Figma is possible. Files to either share with your teammates or your workmates is possible. Now back to files again. Let's still see which other features we have there. Buzz, sites, and the rest of them. All these are other advanced tools. Okay. So now you can either and one other thing you need to take note of is your settings. Yes, your settings is very, very important. Your settings. Now, first of all, to access your settings, this is it here, where you have your name. My name is Favor Melie. This is my own settings. So I can just click on this drop down. And once I click on this drop down, the first thing you see is your theme. So if this theme is not good enough for you, of course, this is the system theme. You can select light theme. It's the same thing with the system theme. The system default automatically sets it to light, or you can select your dark theme. So I think we should just go with dark theme so that we can be able to see the categories of everything. So this is your theme, and this is where you'll be working on. So now let's continue. Let's continue. So either dark or white or light, any of them can serve. But I myself, to for you to see what I'm actually working on, I think we should go with dark theme because dark theme shows you everything. So these are all the works I'm doing. So now let's take for instance you want to create a new design. You want to create your first design. How are you going to do it? Before we enter wireframing and prototyping? Let's say you want to create your new design, your first design. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? You see this design up here. You're going to click on it. So you click on design. It now takes you to a blank page. All right. It takes you to a blank page. Now, in the last video, I said something. I said before you create anything, you have to create your frame. All right. You have to create your frame, which is this. So now, once you highlight this, it brings out features for you. Now, these features either for iPhone 16, iPhone 17, and the rest of them. So you're going to select what you want to create for. Tablet, is it a tablet? Is it a desktop? So you're the one that is going to create what. So now let's take for instance now you want to just create for a phone, a mobile device. You can just select okay, let's go with iPhone 16 Plus. Once you select it, it brings out this frame. All right. So now this is just a basic thing. So you will now go further. Of course, obviously you can edit the picture. If here is too bright, you can edit it. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit. You can edit the color. You just select it. Once you select it, you go down, you look for the appearance. It's all white. So you can change the color. If it's too bright, you can reduce it. You can change the color. Okay. Change the color. Now I'm just going to be putting random things. And while I'm putting random things, I just want to explain to you the random things you can do. Now let's say this is for iPhone, right? So now to make this kind of appealing, let's try something. Let's round the corners. Right? You can round the corners of this thing. What I mean by rounding the corners, all the edges here, they are going to be kind of rounded. It's not going to be as sharp as this. All right. So let's try to see that because that's one thing that relates to devices. So now where you have appearance, you have corner radius, you just select it, right? Then you can start increasing it on your keyboard. So now as you're increasing on your keyboard, you're seeing what is happening on your screen. It's getting cornered, making it more beautiful, making the design more appealing. All right. So that is that. Now, so let's just add random features. Let's add random features. I want to add a line. Let me see if I'll be able to add a line. Yes, I want to add a line here. So I'll just do that. Okay, no. Okay, let's go with rectangle. Let's go with rectangle. All right, so rectangle, this is what I want to add here. Let's see, I want to add a rectangle here. So I'm just making it to look like a line. And I will just, okay, I've centered it now. Now let me change the color. Let me make it thicker. Now let's take for instance, I want to change the color of this to black. I'll just move here and select black. All right, make it to be dark black. If I want to make it to be bold, right? If I want to make it to be bold, what do I do? See where you have stroke, all right? Stroke, you can go down, you can increase the weight. Where you have weight here, all right? This weight is 1, so I can increase it. So as I'm increasing it, it's getting thicker and thicker and thicker. You understand? If I reduce it, it goes down, okay? So let's do that again. Let's do that again. Where you have the weight, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. You reduce it, the same thing. So you can increase the weight here. All right, the position is inside. So that's for that. Okay, that's for that. So which other features can we add here? Okay, let's add another rectangle now. Let's add another rectangle. I want this to move from here to here. All right, and I want the color here to be what? White. Where's my white color? I just want this to be white. Now I want to add like a circle or an ellipse at the top. I'll just add it here. All right. So I've added this here. I'm just creating random stuffs. It's just random. This I want this to be darker. I don't want this to be as bright as the other one. Okay. Let's see. No. Let's make it to be darker, a little bit darker. All right. And then I see most of the colors I'm using, they kind of relate. Now, I've just added some little things here, and let's see. Now, let me just go ahead to add one or two icons to see how they're going to relate. Right? Let's go and see whether we can add one or two icons. Let's add one or two icons. How are we going to add our icons now? All right. So we can either use Iconify or any of them here. You understand? Where I went to this plus icon and did that, or a search of plugins, or rather still, instead of going, through here, instead of going through here, we can just search icons on Figma, icons on Figma, all right, or Iconify, icons on Figma. You see a lot of icons or free icons. Let's search it again, free icons of Figma icons. Let's go with Figma. Yeah, Figma icons or free Figma icons, FRE. Free Figma icons. Let's go there. Now we have a lot of icons, a whole lot of them, a whole lot of them, a whole lot of hundreds of thousands of icons. It's not limited, right? It's not limited. So it's still loading. We can still check back our design. Let's see if we can add on also icons. Let's see if we can add one or two free icons there. I just want to add random things, random things, random things. All right, so these are free icons on Figma, but me the one I'm comfortable making use of is these cool icons. So these cool icons gives one of the most structured, one of the most best icons that describe what you want to do. You understand? So cool icons give you that. You understand? So cool icons, you can just select cool icons, or you can select any one of your choice. With me, I'm good with cool icons. That's what I make use of. Cool icons is what I make use of. You understand? So